Another Russian officer bites the dust in Ukraine, Colonel Ermolayev Pavel Valentinovich, from the Ministry of Emergency Situations, was killed in Ukraine. Russian sources claims he went to Specoperasia in August. In September, he was taken prisoner and Ukrainians tortured him to death in captivity. And this is very interesting. Russians are banging about a naval operation by Ukrainian forces to establish another bridgehead on the left bank of the Dnipro. They're in a bit of a panic, really, even though they're trying to cope. You can see it in their commentary. The information that became known by yesterday evening about the expansion of the zone of control of the Ukrainian armed forces on our bank of the Dnipro indicates plans to create a real enemy bridgehead for further actions. The Ukrainian armed forces have concentrated several brigades of Marines to cross the Dnipro. The pontoon fleet, German-made, is estimated to be several hundred units, and there are countless boats on the other side. The very fact of the presence of the armed forces of Ukraine on our shore is not news. The armed forces of Ukraine have been sitting and getting hit for months at the Antonovsky and Zheleznodorozhny bridges. However, the movement of reconnaissance, electronic warfare, and communications systems to the front line of defense is a clear sign. Also, recently there have been attacks on our rear areas in order to disrupt logistics, communications, and command and control of troops. Of course, the command in the direction does not learn the news from Telegram. It has a plan, and it strictly adheres to it. But the Ukrainian armed forces have not been fighting for the first day and are good at forecasting. A new element of the situation is the presence of long-range missiles from the Ukrainian armed forces, which were used yesterday at the Berdyansk airfield. Now the enemy will try to launch diversionary strikes on the maximum accessible depth of defense in the southern direction, and a massive UAV raid tonight may indicate a clarification of the positioning areas of our air defense. As always, there is nothing critical in the enemy's actions, if you look at it situationally. The small forces of the Ukrainian armed forces, if they have not yet been knocked out after a night raid on our shore, are actively eating lead in occupied positions, and an attempt to bring in pontoons will be met from the sky by bombs. It's just that it seems that it was the Russian Federation that launched the special military operation, and if there is a plan, it seems that it is our country that should conduct the offensive. We hope this is a clear and specific plan, and not sporadic twitching to emerging threats for the sake of maintaining the positions and titles of respected leaders. The main thing is that now they don't send our infantry to retake positions for the sake of the fact itself, and a beautiful report to Moscow. Let's see the other news. Ukrainian military personnel from the 59th Separate Motorized Infantry Brigade attack Russian armored vehicles in the Donetsk region. Another 2 ATACMS missiles are fired. This makes 5 missiles so far. It will be interesting to see the full extent of the damage that barrage has caused, and whether the Berdyansk airfield has been the only target. Putin announced that Russian aerospace forces will start patrolling the neutral zone of the Black Sea aerospace regularly. This is not a threat, he repeated twice.
Хочу сказать, это не угроза, то, что я сейчас скажу, о чем вас проинформирую, но по моему поручению военно-воздушные силы, военно-космические силы России начинают на постоянной основе патрулирование в нейтральной зоне воздушного пространства над Черным морем. Я предупредил, что это не угроза, но мы будем осуществлять визуальный контроль с помощью оружия за тем, что происходит в Средиземном море. Спасибо большое. Всего доброго. Благодарю.
The aerial reconnaissance of the 9th Separate Marine Brigade of the 1st AK of the Armed Forces of the Russian Federation recorded the use of a robotic sapper by the Ukrainian troops to install TM-62M anti-tank mines in the Avdiivka area.
Да. Северная часть, северная копия. Там две части. Ну, сейчас попытаюсь.
Рассчитай с метью новым словом метью. Ж13, Ж13.
Вон на него, да, ТМ-ка съезжает с него. Заминировал.
Вон она, блядь. Ну нахуй. Вон ТМ-ка съехала. Прям на коленю нахуй.
While Putin is in China, Lavrov has arrived in North Korea. Great company, very telling visits and partnerships. Russian authorities intend to double the population of Russia in the next 50 years per Putin's order. Leader of Russian Liberal Democratic Party Slutsky said that by 2073, Russians are expected to number at least 290 million people. Does Putin still expect to be in power then?
Мы должны по призыву президента удвоить население России в ближайшие 50 лет вдвое. То есть нас должно быть к 73 году этого столетия не менее 290 миллионов человек. Поэтому, если мы ставим подобные амбициозные задачи, надо добиться, чтобы даже при сокращении социальных статей госбюджета не были уменьшены программы и расходы, связанные с решением вопросов в демографической сфере.
President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky. He held a meeting with the Minister of Defense of Ukraine. He presented his team, his program. The composition of the ministry has been updated. There are already the first steps to solve the issues that the military talked about. Reduce bureaucracy, simplify document flow, all procedures. Free up commanders' time for combat work instead of paperwork. There will be more digitization and clarity in supply to the troops. There should be more readiness for feedback from the military and solving accumulated problems.
Наша поліція, комунальні служби. Я дякую всім нашим воїнам.
Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.